I'm sitting in the seat of this Jeep Cherokee that I rented. This is the worst rental car I've ever had. Just the layout of everything is wrong. This is what you should not do if somebody ever asks you to design a car. And I've only had the car for less than a day and I already hate it. Let me start with what's wrong here. In the driving position, right there, front and center, there's some kind of four-wheel drive lock and unlock. How often is that used? That should be somewhere where it's not front and center. Same with the auxiliary hole, the USB hole, and the cigarette lighter 12-volt hole. And then this little area behind it, I don't know what you're supposed to put in here. I've just been throwing junk in it, little piece of paper, because I don't know what else to put. What should be there, would be amazing to have right there, would be a cup holder, maybe two cup holders. One to put my cup in, and one to put my cell phone in as I'm using the GPS. Speaking of GPS, I'll get back to that in a little bit. But no, they're not here. Instead, the cup holder is way over here, right next to you, where it's an awkward position to try and reach a cup. Notice also, I've got this console storage compartment open. The reason is, if I close it, now I can't get the cup out, because this lip, move that. Notice how the lid of this container sticks out farther than the container does. There's a little space, and this lip sticks straight out above the cup holder. Don't know why they did that. Now you're asking, why don't I put the cup here? Well, that's because I have my cell phone resting here where I can see it. So the cup is there. I wish I could see the cell phone up here, but I can't. So I have to put my cell phone here to look at the map when I use the GPS and drive around. So now going back to this, I've been driving with this open. The problem is every time I come to a stop, hit the brakes, it slams down shut. So then I've been putting my gloves sideways across there, plus a hat. I need a stick. I need a PVC pipe or something to wedge in here to force that lid to stay open so I can reach my cup, which is still at an awkward position right next to me. I can't reach the handle really when I'm driving. Got to grab it like this. Again, why didn't they just put it front and center? The shifter could have been here or anywhere else Japanese and Korean car makers put theirs. They're a lot smarter on this. Now going back to why do I need my phone here where I can see it? Because there's something wrong with the Bluetooth in this car. I've never rented a car before where it does this. When I have my GPS on and she's giving me directions where to turn, the first two words are eliminated from her voice. And I know it works because it's worked in every car I've ever used except this one. For example, I'll be driving along and she's feeding me directions and she'll say, there's silence, and she'll say, up ahead. And I'm thinking, what are the two words that she said before that? Did she say turn left up ahead or turn right up ahead? One of those two, and that's a key detail to know. Are you supposed to turn left or turn right? Should you be in the left lane or the right lane? All you hear is, at Hampton Road. What am I supposed to do at Hampton Road? Turn left, turn right, and so on. So that's why I need to have my phone where I can see it in this car, so I can look at the map and find out, does she want me to turn left or turn right at Hampton Road? And that defeats the whole purpose of hands-free Bluetooth GPS. I have to take my eyes off the road, look down here, look at my little tiny map on my little tiny phone screen, because the Bluetooth in this car eliminates the first two words that the GPS gives me. A terrible design. Another thing over here, looking at the passenger seat. Right now, I've got the seat scooted forward, and I've got the seat back leaning forward a little bit. The reason is this big giant headrest, when it was in its normal position, is completely blocking the driver's view through that window. So when I come up and I'm trying to merge onto a road or make a left turn, I cannot see any cars coming through this window. I can't see any traffic at all. It's dangerous because this big giant headrest, and no one's head is this big unless you're an alien, or if you have some medical condition, then I apologize, it's not your fault. But this giant headrest is about 3 times bigger than it should be. And also, look here from a profile, here's your back, and then bam, this thing sticks out. Unless you're a hunchback or a chimpanzee, your head does not stick out this far. Maybe Walter Matthau. But most normal people with a posture, it should go up. and straight up, not jut out forward. So even on my side, on the driver's side, it does the same thing. And I'm driving with my head forward like Walter Matthau driving a car all the time because I can't put my head back because of this poorly designed headrest. Now going to what I do see here, it's hard to judge my speed. Look at the speedometer. It goes up to 160. This Jeep is never going to see 160 miles an hour. I promise it will never do that. Why didn't they put the speed limit on the speedometer maybe 90? And then they would have a big spectrum of numbers so they could show the common speeds such as 25, 45, all the fives. Everything would be stretched out a little more if 90 were the top speed. You would have more room between these big numbers to put other numbers. So I was driving earlier, I thought I was doing 46, I was really doing 51, because that's not a 45, that's a 50. So on here, on this little tiny gap between 40 and this unmarked 50, somewhere in that is 45, around the middle. It doesn't give you much room to actually know what your speed is. But all this unused stuff over here is just wasted real estate. I don't mind the tachometer. Now looking on this crowded dashboard, okay, you've got a clock, which that's fine, but when my radio's on, there's also a clock right there, so that's really unnecessary. Temperature, okay, that's fine. My range mile, I don't know what the 100 with the circle around it means. I haven't figured that out. It might be something to do with the cruise control, but I don't know what. I don't know why there's trip A is 10,000 miles. When I picked up the car yesterday, I reset it to 0. So I'm not sure if that's the total miles in this car, or is this the total miles, 2,400? Well, no. So that must be the odometer, 10,000. And 2,485 should be 0. I haven't driven that many miles yet, so I'm really not sure what that one is. This number counting up, like I say, I reset everything when I got the car. I always do. I don't know what this 91 hours, 14 minutes is. Whatever it is, it's not important. It doesn't need to be front and center right on the middle of the dashboard clicking up a clock, a timer for something I don't even know what it is. No more than do I need 2 odometers going.